And welcome to our evening reflection or our evening meditation. Every night we focus on a positive thought, something to kind of just get ourselves in a great headspace to end the day with. And tonight's thought is I benefit from the pause. I think a lot of us can relate to having responded to something that's happened or something that's been said, and having turned around and responded to it when we're in kind of a heightened emotional state. And sometimes that works out great, but more often than not, when we find ourselves responding to upsetting things impulsively or responding in an emotional state, we end up more often than not regretting what we've said or how we've reacted. And it kind of goes back to that whole fight or flight response. When we're angered or when we're hurt or when we're frustrated or when we're shocked or, in some way we feel wronged, typically we feel the need to lash back. And that's not always beneficial. And more often than not, we find ourselves thinking, you know what, I could have handled that better, or I wish I said this differently, or I wish I, did things differently. So tonight we're going to focus on the thought, I benefit from the pause, and kind of just delve deeper into what it means to pause before reacting so that hopefully we can find ourselves feeling satisfied with the way we react to events or circumstances or actions that seem maybe a bit upsetting, but we can navigate them with grace and dignity. So let's go ahead and get started in our comfortable seated position or laying down, whatever feels best for you. And we're going to go ahead and take a moment and pause. Go ahead and settle in with the breath. Maybe even take a moment to scan the body, seeking any areas of tension, finding any muscles that feel like they're holding on to some tightness or some stress or some anxiety anywhere in the body. And allowing ourselves to feel everything soften and relax with each breath. See if with each round of breath you take, you can feel the body beginning to release, feel the mind beginning to relax, and feeling yourself settling into the present moment. Let's go ahead and see if we can deepen our breath. Inhales and exhales lasting a little bit longer. Each inhale bringing with it a sense of peace and calm. Each exhale taking away any stress, any worry, any anxiety. Envision the mind as a clear, empty space, a place you can truly relax in. Feel the heartbeat slow, and feel yourself come to a space that is calm, quiet, and serene. Let's take in 2 more deep breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. And once more, inhale. Exhale. Taking our hands to our heart, connect a moment with the heartbeat. Take a moment to find that even pace of breath. And know that anytime we need to pause, we can return to the breath as often as needed. And let's relax the hands back down, and we'll begin again with our thought, I benefit from pause. And let's say that together again. I benefit from pause. There is great benefit to the breath. There is great benefit in the space between action and reaction. There is great benefit in the pause. I strive to be calm and prepared rather than reactive in my responses to a stressful or unexpected occurrence. In times of tension, I am aware that my first response will often be an emotional one. I allow myself time to think, process, and plan prior to responding in tense situations. I know that I am an intelligent being, and I am capable of expressing myself clearly, and I allow myself the time and opportunity to formulate the response I intend, so my meaning is clear and my message is heard. I know how frustrating it can be to be misunderstood or to have my words misinterpreted. I strive to avoid this by giving myself pause. I focus on my breath. I clear my mind. I give myself a moment of clarity. I choose not to be reactive as often as I can, for I know that being reactive often leads to swift responses that are not nearly as impactful as the message I intend to deliver. When I find myself angered, frustrated, offended, shocked, or hurt, I give myself a moment to recover and collect my thoughts prior to responding, if I choose to respond at all. I know that it is my choice whether or not I choose to respond in a situation I find difficult. I can always take the opportunity to walk away, respond later, or if necessary, ignore completely. I know that it is much easier to have myself heard and understood the first time than to try to correct a misunderstanding caused by an impulsive response. I owe it to myself to allow my message to come across exactly as I intend it to, and I trust in myself and my abilities to formulate my thoughts in a way that will leave me being heard. I never respond from a place of anger or hurt. I wait until my emotions have leveled out, for this is when I do my best thinking. I seek clarity from a place of curiosity, never a place of judgment. As often as I need to, I return to my breath. I wait until my heartbeat is slow and steady. I know not to respond when my body is in a state of overdrive. I label my feelings and I share them with others in a way that lets them know where I am at. I know not to take things personally. I process my thoughts and reread written responses to ensure that my meaning and intentions are clear. I always respond from a place of emotional stability. The clarity that my breath can bring is incredibly beneficial. Rather than react, I pause. Rather than judge, I pause. Rather than blame, I pause. Rather than assume, I pause. Important discoveries and saving graces often come within the space between a pause and a reaction. I benefit often from the pause I allow myself to breathe into. Taking our hands back to our heart. Let's connect with our heartbeat for a moment. And let's enjoy that pause. Let's give ourselves space to acknowledge our emotions, to acknowledge our current state of being. And let us give ourselves the opportunity to be heard and understood by benefiting from the pause. Take in 2 more deep breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And relaxing our hands back down. Let us always remember, we owe it to ourselves to take time to pause, and we can always return to our breath as needed. Wishing you all a beautiful night. Love you all.